Hello, my name is Veronica and I'm a librarian here at the Prince George's County Memorial Library System. Today on Craft and Create, I'm going to show you how to make 3 easy make-it-at-home pet toys using items that you can find around the house. So showing you how to repurpose some items in order to make some fun, interactive pet toys for you and your pet. So let's get started. So this pet toy is really good for animals like cats that love to bat at things that move and paw at things that are moving in front of them. And this is a really simple one to make. So what you will need for this pet toy, you will need a clothes hanger, some string, scissors, and also something to shake at the bottom of the string. So something that you'll be able to tie to the bottom of the string and the animal can kind of paw at and play with and things like that. You can use something like a feather or something else soft that won't hurt the pet, and also something that they won't like take off and try and swallow or anything like that. What I'm going to use are little pom-poms, and so these are left over from an activity that we had in the library, just like little chicky pom-pom things. But if you wanted to, you could just use a single pom-pom as your kind of toy at the end of the string. So what we're going to do first is take your clothes hanger, and then you're going to tie your string to the clothes hanger like that. And if you want, you can cut off any excess, but it's not necessary. It just kind of makes it look a little nicer, like that. And then make the string as long as you would like. So this will depend on where you plan to hang your clothes hanger in order for your pet to play with it. And you can do different lengths for the different strings that we're going to attach. So for this one, I'm just going to do like this. And then I'm going to tie another string, whoops, to the clothes hanger. And this pet toy craft is super flexible because you can kind of modify it to what you think your pet will like and how much supplies you have. So I'm going to do this one maybe a little shorter just to switch it up a little bit. And I'm going to attach 2 more, and you can space these out however you would like. Again, it doesn't have to be exactly spaced apart, equal distance. There we go. Got that one. Here's the third one. I'm going to do this probably like it's about as long as the first one, and then I'm going to do one more. It's a bit shorter to again give some variety to the pet toy when you're playing with your pet. There we go. Snip off the extra, and let's see, how long are these? Yeah, I think this one maybe a little bit shorter, but not as short as the second one. That's fine. And of course, this is good if you ever wanted to like modify it or change it up. You could just cut off the string and redo it. Easy as that. And so next, I will attach the little pom-poms. These are just 2 pom-poms glued together. Like I mentioned, these were left over from an activity that we did at the library. But you could always just, like, if you have pom-poms like this, just glue them together, or you could use a single pom-pom as well and just tie it. So what I'm going to do is, let's see, tie it. And since this is 2 together, and there are different things going on that I can tie to the pom-pom or tie to the string, it's a little easier. So I'm going to tie this one like that. And again, you can cut off the excess string if there is any there. Try and tie it to this little foot on the chickie that we had. Like I mentioned before, you can use other things. You can use feathers. Just tie that to something that you could tie easily to the string. You can use little, like, crinkly bits of paper that are like shiny and attach it to the string. You can really use anything that you think would entice your pet and is soft and can swing around. So, one of these here. There we go. And something additional you can do as well, if you're using a feather, you can dip it in, or like shake it around in a bag of your pet's favorite treats. Or like I mentioned, I have cats, so I would sometimes do that, but you can also kind of dip it in some catnip to entice them to the toy a little bit more, and then they'll definitely be interested in it once they smell what's going on. Okay, let's see. I do want to do that. Okay. Okay. And there you go. This is the toy, and you could hang it from like a door handle, and kind of if a door moves and this would shake like this, then it would be something they can like paw at and play with. But also, as you can see, once they start hitting it, they'll go flying and kind of bounce around. It's also something you could use on your own, to just kind of hold and bounce over them. And then maybe if they get sick of whatever you tie to the bottom of your pet toy, you could always cut off the pom-poms or feathers or whatever you use at the bottom and replace it. Or you can just cut off the string altogether and start over, and then they have a brand new toy to play with. Just that simple. Okay, so this next make-it-yourself craft pet toy is a little kicker toy. So this is good for just like playing around, and for animals that like to kick on certain items or kind of hold them and kick on them. Again, I use this with my cats and they really like it, but this is something you can use with dogs as well, and kind of play with them, and they'll kind of wrestle around with it also. So for this, you are going to need some socks, and so I just have some old socks that I don't want anymore and don't really wear, so it's fine to use it for this. And then some toilet paper rolls, empty cardboard toilet paper rolls. And this one is super, super, super simple. So first, you're going to take one sock, kind of stretch it out a little bit just so it's easier to use and to get in. And then I'm gonna, since these are kind of long, I'm gonna roll it down like that, and then put in my toilet paper roll. Let's see, yeah, there we go. And just kind of make it go all the way to the bottom. Now, if you don't have socks or old socks that you want to use for this, you can also take the sleeve of a shirt, a long sleeve shirt, cut off the sleeve and kind of tie it at the end, just so it has that closure at the end. Yeah, that will work just as good. So there you go. I have toilet paper roll in here. And then again, if you wanted to put something that your pet is enticed by the smell of, so I normally put catnip, a little catnip in here, like in the middle of the toilet paper roll when it's in here, just to give it a smell that the animals will like. You can do that as well. Okay, and so once you do that and have the toilet paper roll all the way at the end, you're going to tie it like this. To create another closure. And so you want it to be kind of close like that. And then stretch out. So obviously, as you can see, and I didn't mention, you need kind of longer socks. You don't want to have those like short socks. But yeah, so after you do the one knot, then you have some space to do another toilet paper roll. So you're going to stick that in. Again, if you wanted to dip the cardboard roll into anything that smells that attracts your pet, you can do that. Or you could put a little catnip or something that smells good in here. Or you can just do it blank like this if you think this might attract them just fine. So I have that in there. And then once again, I'm going to tie. Gets a little tight at the top. Let's see. Hopefully, I will be able to do this. Let me stretch it out. So I'm trying just to do it with a single sock just to show you the general gist of the toy. There we go. But if you wanted to use two socks, you could also put two cardboard rolls in one sock and two cardboard rolls in another sock to make an extra long one like that. And then these would have two cardboard rolls in them as well, and then you would just tie the two socks together. But this works as well. And again, it's something you might have to introduce to your pet. If it smells like something they're attracted to, that might help. But just so they get the gist and kind of play around with it and kick it. Easy. So this final pet toy that you can make at home with some items around the house is really good for animals that like to kind of play pull and tug games with you. It might be good as well for animals and pets that like to fetch. And also it can be used as a kicker toy as well, and just something to be wrestled around with. And so this one is also really simple, really easy. What you need is a t-shirt that you don't mind cutting up and using. I'm just using an extra t-shirt that we have here at the library. You also need scissors and Sharpie or something to mark where you're going to cut, and then a ruler as well. If you don't have a ruler, you can also eyeball it. It doesn't have to be perfect, and you'll see once we start cutting, it doesn't have to be perfect, but that's if you want a little bit of guidance in what you're doing. Okay, so the first thing that you are going to do is spread out your t-shirt, and this can be a t-shirt of any size. Of course, the larger the shirt, the more you have to work with, but it can be any size that you have available. So what I'm going to do is first cut off the sections that we don't need of this shirt. So we kind of just want this main part here in the middle. So I'm going to cut off the sleeves. And this doesn't have to be perfect or look super neat or anything. And then I'm also going to cut off the seam stitching part at the bottom of this shirt, just because we don't need that. And it's going to make it difficult later. Oops, well, that wasn't very straight. But like I said, it does not have to be perfect. I was trying to cut both of the sides together at once, but that did not work out that way. But yeah, this is just going to be something that gets slobbered on and gets dirty and gets played around with your cute little pet. So it just has to be good, but not perfect. And then we also don't need this top part here, the collar and the shoulder seams of this shirt. Yeah, so basically anywhere with stitching you can get rid of. Any of the places on the shirt that are like extra thick like that, you don't need. Okay. And then we also want to kind of be able to lay the shirt open as just like one entire piece. So you can cut down the side of the shirt in order to be able to just open it up, fan it open into one large piece of fabric. And so when that's done, you can open up your shirt. Oops. You can open up your shirt and kind of spread it out open onto your table or wherever you're doing your cutting. And so since this shirt is kind of big, this is going to be a big pet toy, so just keep that in mind. I'm just using the whole length of the shirt this way. But if you wanted to, you could cut it shorter to make it any size you would like. So the next thing you're going to do is start at one side of the shirt and measure, let's say about 5 inches. And again, this is just an estimate type of thing. And if you want, you can eyeball it. So yeah, something like that. And then if you need the guide for your cutting, you can always make a light little mark to show that, show where you should be cutting, like that. And then you're just going to cut the length of the shirt down this way. And I like all of these pet toys because I think they are easy and great ways to kind of enhance, and not enhance, but just to get new toys for your pet and kind of modify it to something that they would like and you know that they like. And you can use up things like old t-shirts that are around the house. I also like these crafts and like making do-it-yourself pet toys. One, because I think it's fun. I think it adds a little individual personal touch to what your pet plays with. And two, there we go. And two, I think it's a great way to just save money. After a while, all pet toys get kind of dirty, especially if they're like heavily played with, and can get kind of grimy. And it can get expensive to keep going out and trying to buy new things. But with this, you can kind of have fun. And you can also get your family involved as well. That's another thing. It's a good way to just like get everyone involved. Everyone can be involved with like cutting their own t-shirt, designing their own kicker toy, something like that. And you can kind of see and make a little friendly competition, if you're that type of family, of which one your pet likes more and plays with more. If not, you can just kind of give them all to your pet and let go. So, as I'm cutting my strips, I'm just setting them aside. And just to show you one way that you can do it as well, if you want it to, it's a little uneven at the bottom, so I'm going to cut that to make it a little more even. You don't have to do that, but just to show you. So even if you didn't want to do the line up all the way, you can just do like a little tick mark down there so you know where you should start cutting. Then you can just kind of trust yourself. With the cutting process, going the length of this shirt. Okay. So I'm going to put the rest of the t-shirt aside. You can use the rest to make multiple toys. As you can see, and like I mentioned, this is a very large t-shirt, so this could make multiple toys. But for right now, I'm just going to use 3 strips that we have cut like this. Okay. And as you can see, they're all kind of somewhat similar. This one's a little skinny at the top, but what are you gonna do? So I'm gonna grab the first one, and what you're gonna do is roll the shirt into a little roll, like a sausage. So along the length of it. So you're just gonna like start like that. Okay. And there we have one roll, and then you're just gonna leave it seam side down, move it to the side so it doesn't unroll. Just gonna move that over there. And then I'm going to roll my next one like this. And again, put it seam side down, put it to the side, and then roll your last one, rolling it lengthwise. This is a little tricky. Okay. And this is a good toy, like a cool toy to do, because it's easy to customize. As you can see, this shirt is mostly blue. It has a graphic on the front and back, but the fabric is blue. But if you had multiple t-shirts that you were alright with cutting up and using, you can kind of mix and match and do like rainbow colors, do your favorite colors, anything like that. Okay. And so I have my 3 strips here. So what I'm going to do next is to is tie together two of these at the top, like that, and then also, let me do this one first, and then also tie this together. So you want the 3 strips to be tied together, attached in some way. So what I did is tied 2 together and then put one, made a loop with those, the tops of those 2, and then put the 3rd in the middle of that loop. And so let me do that again to show you. So I'm gonna do, and it's okay if your strips kind of unravel a little bit as you're handling them. You can kind of just like refold them back. So yeah, I'm going to just start to tie these together, and with the excess at the top, do a loop. You can put that through the loop and then tie it at the top so it's all together. Just as long as it's all attached in a knot at the top of the 3 of the strips. Just make sure it's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, I'm actually gonna tie this little excess just to make it super tight. There we go. Okay, so what you will do next is to braid the 3 strips of t-shirt rolls. And so how you do that is, so actually I'm going to take some time right now to kind of re-roll some of these. This middle one kind of came loose a bit. There we go. This one, yeah. And so for this, you're going to braid it and braid the length of it, and then we'll tie it at the bottom to secure that. So you're going to have the middle piece going straight, and then put the two strips on either side. You can spread those out just so you have some more room to work with and they aren't like knocking into each other and unraveling. So I'm going to take the one on the left and fold it over the middle one, and kind of move the middle one to the side a bit. And I'm going to take the one on the right and fold it over the left one. And so you have the same design as, or the same kind of space as before. And then you're going to do that again. You're going to take the left, put it over the middle, and you can start to move the middle closer to the left, and then you can take the right and put it over that left one that you just moved. And as you're braiding down, you can kind of secure it as it goes up. Now for this, let me do that one more time. Yeah. Okay. Now for this, let me do it one more time to show you. Take the left, fold it over the middle, and then take the right, fold it over the left one that you just moved, and it now becomes the middle one. And as you can see, mine is like my braided t-shirt is kind of moving around a lot. If you want it to secure the knot at the top to something, you could always like tape it to your table or tie it to something else as well, just so it's not like moving around as much when you're doing it, but this is all right too. So I'm just going to go ahead and go down the length of the toy, completing that process. Yeah. The first couple ones, as you can see, kind of look a little rough, but that's all right. It comes together, I promise, as you start going down. Okay, so I'm starting to get near the end. I think I can do one more over, and then like that. Maybe do tie that tight. Maybe do one more. Left over, right over. Yeah, I think that's good. And then at the bottom of your braid, you can, as it starts to get short, see some of them are a little longer, but this one is starting to get a bit short, so I know that I'm going to need to tie it at the bottom soon to secure it. So I'm going to stop there and kind of do the same process as before, just tying a knot at the bottom of it to secure all of the fabric pieces. And this can look however works for you. A little tighter. Just pull this down a little bit and then retie. Just because I want it to be pretty secure. And then there's, on this one, there's just a little excess from a strip that was longer than the others. So I'm just going to cut that piece off just so it's not dangling unnecessarily. Yeah, and there you have it. Here is your pet toy. Again, it's good if your pet likes to bite on things and do like a tug type of game. So like dogs love to play with toys like these. And it's really good if they enjoy fetching and like a toss and return type of thing. And then also may enjoy it just like rolling around, having it in their mouth. And then similar to the other toys, this is one where you can kind of expose it to smells that they might like or might be attracted to in order to get them more interested in it, because right now obviously it's just a piece of fabric. But pretty tough. You can like pull on it like that with them. And there you go. There's the third do-it-yourself pet toy that you can make